Good morning and welcome to Live in a Greenhouse on YouTube. If you're new here, this channel is about my journey to design, build, and then live in the first greenhouse enclosed tiny home in the United States. We're now full into summer with the overnight lows in the mid-50s and the daytime highs outside the greenhouse in the upper 70s to mid-80s. This close to the sea, we often have overcast marine air in the morning that burns off about mid-morning. I now leave the ridge vents to the greenhouse open all day and all night, and all of the house doors and windows open to the greenhouse most of the day and into the evening before I go to bed. I open the greenhouse doors first thing in the morning to start airflow to mitigate heat buildup, but still it gets hot in the greenhouse by mid-morning until mid-evening, where it starts to cool off. Fortunately, Monday through Friday, I'm working at my day job inside the house where it's cooler. And then I get out to the greenhouse in the evening after it cools off. This area of the country, and particularly this little island, are a wonderful place to be in the summer. And now that there are actually plants growing in the greenhouse, I don't feel the urgency to finish tasks like I used to. So if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe so YouTube will show it to more viewers, and come along today as I balance my to-do list with just enjoying my first summer in my new home. Early morning, the 4th of July, is perfect for getting on to fixing East Pond's liner seam. It's still comfortably cool, and I have the day off work. I'd already washed the seam a few days ago, so it's dry and ready to mark out the guidelines. Then apply the primer. This is my first time working with this primer or sealing tape, since I didn't have to seam liners for any ponds at my other houses. It turned out to be easier than expected, and I learned some things that will make the West Pond seam not as intimidating. Then on to the next project before it gets too hot, attaching the curtain rod for these shade curtains. Plan A is to attach the hangers directly to the purlin with self-tapping metal screws. Turns out it's off just enough to not work. We'll have to try Plan B another day. So on to the next project while it's still cool enough. But purchase this bulb hole auger to see if it'll work for the small holes I need to dig for the raised bedposts. It actually worked pretty well, and I got one more 10-foot section planted before going to the community 4th of July picnic. Most years, our island has a community 4th of July parade, mostly for a laugh and to entertain small children. I didn't go this year, but here are some of my favorites from past years. Homemade costumes, a cool old car, a motorized bar stool complete with American flags, a homemade float of our ferry, various decorated vehicles, and my all-time favorite, the doggy drill team performed maneuvers along the parade route. Well, kinda sorta. Then on to the park for hot dogs, lemonade, and ice cream. Get there early or it's a long line. Kids get to spray the fire hose. There's now cargo net across the west double doors, but it'll be a couple more weeks until the east door screen arrives. In the meantime, I have bungee cords across the door, so I didn't think a deer would be brazen enough to enter while I was home. But it was quiet, and with the curtains closed, it sampled the potato right outside the living room before moving on to the beans and peach tree. And sunflower. Hoof prints made a nice hidey hole for this frog. I'm not sure if the radishes were grazed by the deer or a chipmunk I saw scurry under the cargo net. But they didn't get these beans that should be ripe within a couple days. Opening the door early the next morning, something caught my attention out of the corner of my eye. One of the little garden munchers, looking cute as can be. After a few carts of dirt, the bed was topped up and ready for planting. Early Saturday morning was time to get the east pond liner back into place. First I had to remove this board and put down a second layer of underlayment. Then onto the rubber. This is time consuming to fold the excess on inside curves and to make sure the rubber won't be stretched across voids by the weight of the water. Finished just in time to change my clothes and get to the ferry to go to the Saturday market. It's a nice mix of locally produced fruits, vegetables, honey, baked goods, wood and fiber crafts, plants, toiletries, coffee, ethnic food, and music. I go for the espresso and scones. After only a few days, these deer-grazed beans have new leaves. This tomato is finally starting to do something, almost ready to harvest some baby spinach. Harvested my first peas last night. The peaches are starting to change color and it smells like peaches now. Lots of flowers and a few cukes starting to form. The Myers lemon has new flowers blooming and the lemons are starting to turn color. The barley straw has finally worked to clear the pool water to see to the bottom again, but even if the pool leaks were fixed now, there won't be enough rain to fill it until fall, so I've been slowly draining it by watering the greenhouse plants. For the next project, I turned to one of the bone piles. This one is the scrap greenhouse metal and other miscellaneous stuff, where I found just what I wanted. A quick wash, and it'll be ready to use. And there you have it, a major task completed, progress on another, and preparing for the next. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And come back next time to find out what the metal pieces are for.